Right? Start pointing fingers at where we think the bad guys are, where the evil is. We all start arguing. Everybody has different opinions about that. Please do not forget that hatred or evil, whatever you want to call it, it's intelligent, it's smart, and it's invisible. It doesn't have a color. It doesn't have a race. It doesn't have a religion. It has no politics. It's an invisible snake that while it is planning to make its attack, it is thinking to itself, I am going to divide my enemy into smaller, less strong groups, and then I'm going to make them hate each other so that it's easier to take them down. And as we're all yelling at each other, trying to figure out which group it is that's causing the problem, evil's winning.
To the point. You can't just talk about it. You can't just be there like after the point. It really reminds me of something. Symbolically of speaking, of course. I'll let myself pop out.
Going to say too is that the United Nations uses a particular publishing firm for all of their documents and public and books and materials, and it's called Lucius Publishing. The United Nations uses Lucius Publishing. Lucius Publishing was at one time Helena Blavatsky's Lucifer Publishing. So today, the whole
by the Lucifer Trust.
The Lucifer Trust, United Nations. That's why it's in New York, because New York is referred to as the Empire State, because it's the new state of the new empire that is coming. That's why Steven Spielberg and George Lucas with their Indiana Jones and the Empire Strikes Back, it has to do with occultism, it has to do with numerology, it has to do with a lot of mysticism coming out of theosophy. The point being is that we are involved in some very powerful occult manipulation of the world by some very astute occult things.
But it has.
Once we perceive the inherent significance of these symbols, we also have the opportunity to comprehend our ultimate mission in life. That mission is that each human, in some life, must regenerate his or her human imperfect body, thereby rebuilding a perfectly balanced, sexless, immortal physical body. This is referred to in Masonry as the second temple that will be greater than the first. Mr. Percival offers an in-depth view of one of the strongest tenets of Masonry, the rebuilding of King Solomon's temple. This is not to be understood as an edifice made of mortar or metal, but the temple not made with hands, according to the offer. Freemasonry trains the human so that the candidate may eventually reconstruct the mortal body into a deathless spiritual temple, eternal in the heavens.
British aristocrats to deliver a message about a satanic Templar artifact is still walking into a room full of British aristocrats to deliver a message about a satanic Templar artifact is very intimidating, especially to a group of people calling themselves worshipful butchers. I wondered if they would accept my theory. The illustrations on the sides and lid of the coffer I proposed indicated that the Knights Templar, the Pope's own special light chartered warriors of Christ throughout the medieval crusades, were having ritual sex with boys and sacrificing them. In an attempt to destroy the created universe, the first part of this claim, the ritual murder and gay pedophilia, is just what the Templars had already been convicted of and burnt at the stake for by the King of France in the early 14th century. These rites were allegedly all part of their secret worship of a demonic entity named Baphomet, which my